But David, a point away from home, but it feels like a defeat.
Yep.
How do you feel we played today, or we just thrown it away at the end there?
Yeah, I think in both halves we weren't particularly fluid in possession. We did the basics fine in the first half. We didn't do them well in the second half. We took a step back psychologically, and we invited a team that's not lost an 8 at home to come on to us. That's not how we play, and you sort of get your just desserts, if you like, and what you're asking for. Did they deserve to sort of score 2? Probably not. But then at the same time, we've given them the opportunity to do that. So if you don't sort of win first contacts and second balls, and you're letting left footers come inside the pitch, then you're asking for trouble. And as good a day as it could have been, it turned into an infuriating one. Obviously, we've come a long way when we're getting a point away at Harrogate, and we're thinking that, and we're extremely disappointed. And that's the standards we've set ourselves. So disappointing day, really.
And you feel at 2-0, cruising, really?
I wouldn't say cruising. I genuinely wouldn't. I said to them at half time, don't think you're particularly doing well in possession. You're doing excellent out of possession. You scored 2 really good goals. You can do more, and we gave them some pointers. And then we didn't even do the basics well out of possession, and didn't really improve the in possession stuff either. So frustrating. We know we can play better. It's not an easy place to come. They need. I don't think they need any points, to be honest, to stay up, but they feel as though they do. We've got to be so much better than what that is, if you like. What was on show, certainly second half. Because if you just do your jobs properly, you do see the game out 2-0. But we didn't. We've conceded from a corner, conceded from just a long ball and drops their lad. Both goals are clearly preventable, and we've got to cut that out of our game. We've got to be a little bit better in possession. That's the bottom line, really.
And it takes away the gloss from Kieran Green's goal, of course, and obviously Jason's goal was good as well. But I mean, Kieran Green's, I think a lot of people have seen a better goal live.
No, we've seen 2 excellent goals. Obviously, Green, anyone who scores from inside the own half, especially up a hill like this, it's a terrific strike. I'm sure Green will be the first to say that it doesn't mean much if you don't win the game because of it. So, yeah, it was some outstanding bit of skill. Excellent strike for the second. It only gets us a point, and we've got to have higher standards than getting points at this stage of the season if we want to get to where we want to.
And I think at that moment there was like a 5-minute swing where we conceded the 2 goals and Colchester scored twice, and now the point is the gap is 1 point. Yeah,
I didn't know that until I've literally just stood here in front of you. So I'm not particularly bothered about what others do. I'm more bothered about what we do. We didn't do enough to win the game today because our out of possession stuff, second half particularly, was poor, and that's cost us 2 goals and it's cost us 2 points.
And at this stage of the season, business end of the season, everything, we need performances, don't we?
Yeah, I talk a lot about underlying performances, and our performance in possession. First half was okay without being outstanding. Second half, okay without being outstanding. But the real good thing about the first half is our out possession stuff was very good. Second half, it wasn't particularly very good. Well, when you talk about them 4 sort of facets of the game, if you like, or 2 different bits of the game, but in 4 different periods of the game, then if you don't get them all right, then you're probably not going to win many games of football. So we've got to be better than that. It's as simple as that. I think we're still 7th.
Yeah.
So we're still 7th. We've got 4 games to go. I don't think anyone would have dreamed of this position earlier on in the season. We've still got plenty of games left, and we've got to make sure we perform better than what we did today.
And it's still in our hands. And starting Good Friday, need an improved performance.
Yeah. Listen, if your performance improves, you've got a better chance of winning the game. Like I say, I thought first half we scored 2 good goals, but it was a bitty game. Not second half, it was still a bitty game, but our standards are better than how we performed. But then if the out of possession stuff sort of goes to the floor like it did to a degree, then you've got a chance of conceding goals, and that's what we did.
1,000 fans here today, and they'll be going home disappointed, I'd imagine, but there was great support today.
Unbelievable support. It's been a nice day. I'm sure we could have sold more if we were allowed more. And I'm sure there's disappointed as what we all are. Like I said, we've come a long way, knowing that we only a point at Harrogate is a disappointing result, but that's what we've got. So, we've got to rest, recover. 2 games in quick succession next week, so it's all to play for. Still in our hands. There's far worse positions to be in. I'm sure there's plenty of other teams that have swapped with us in our league, that's for sure, including Harrogate. But we've got to make sure that our performances improve.